Okay. Hi, everyone. I am Samir Shirur. Welcome to this podcast, which is named Tech Talk Industry 4.0 Unplugged. Now, I hope most of you know me. You are already in my contacts or somehow you are connected to it. But nevertheless, let me put a few things around this topic. Why this is started, what is its benefit, and what I am trying to achieve out of this podcast series. Now, before we get into it, let's understand. I mean, let's see who I am. Okay. So, a little bit of background about me. I am Samir Shirur. I have around 2 decades of experience. I am a chemical engineer, started as a commissioning engineer, and then lot of varied experience, and most of it in EPC, chemical, petrochemical industries domain, dealing with information technology and data. Okay, so this is my broad overall experience, and I have been a contributor in various magazines, panel discussions, as well as articles and other things which I have published online for sharing these technologies, their benefit to industry people. Now I wanted to transform into podcasting, the with the precise reason, right? The precise reason being, uh, this is a time where we all are looking into various disruptional technologies. Now, it's important that there is a channel, there are some mediums already, which can give us a platform for various audiences to come and share their knowledge, share their use case, share their product catalog, or a software, or a technology, or even a thought leadership. And now I wanted to be that platform where I can, bring people and talk about these technologies, share their experience, and make it more democratized, so that people can reach out to each other. This can be a platform, collaborative platform, where learning can happen. So the intent of this podcast is, first is learning, collaboration, and then partnership. Okay, this is where the idea comes from. Now, why this idea has come? Okay, so this podcast, or whole these series of podcasts, would be a more on the question and answer format, so that the audience at the student level, and us audience at the professional level, as well as decision making level, can come and see clear questions and the answers those questions can get, rather than going into conversational mode and uh, trying to beat around the bush and give a lot of varied answers. Let's focus on the question and answers. Now, first question about this introduction. Now, why this podcast? Okay, so podcast is to bring a to give a I would say a democratized platform, increase learning, and also serve as a platform for students, decision makers, and professional in this areas of chemical, process allied industries, EPC industries, to come and have some knowledge, share some knowledge, and collaborate on this platform. Okay, now let's look at what is the other question which we would like to answer. The other question which we would like to answer is, who is it for, right? We just already talked about students, uh, decision makers, and professional. Is it end of it all? I don't think so. The biggest partnership can also come from the technology professionals, product owners, people or companies who are building those products. Now today, you see, they run their own podcast series, and they have their own what do you call, interactions, panel discussions, where the discussion is more around the general industry trend as well as their product strength, which is fantastic. Now, what I want to drive out of this podcast series is evaluate those products in a very neutral, oriented way, and let's not talk about, go beyond marketing and see what is the real use case which they have implemented, what are the benefits they have obtained, and how how an industry professional who is clearly looking at some use case can you know see those various conversation, and try to meet them, and collect that information. So that's the second intent. Now, why this podcast all of a sudden? Okay, now let me share some interesting let me share some interesting you know uh, interesting thing. I hope you guys are able to share see this, right? Okay, history of innovation cycles. If you see, I mean, as per venturecapitalist.com, from where source Edison Institute, if you see the innovation cycle, where look at the innovation cycle, they were 60 years, 55 years, 50 years, 40 years until 1990s. It was well beyond 40 years, right? Now, when the movement in last 2 decades, the whole innovation cycle itself has gone down drastically. What does that mean? It means that we are innovating very fast, very dynamically, because of the advent of things like digital network, software development, various new medias, technology availability like high computing, computing powers of GPUs. So many technologies, clean technologies, robotics, drones, AI, IoT. You hear so many things every day. So what does it really tell? That there is an now you can't sit and rely on things to happen, right? You have to collaborate, you have to bring. Gone are the days when one Thomas Edison sitting somewhere used to do say 10,000 experiments to come up with one light bulb. Now the idea is to collaborate and find the right partners and deliver the results as quickly as possible. uh, so just a quick note on what happened in last 6 years. And during the first wave, industrial revolution, first factory emerged out of 60 years. Look at the impact. Second, railways. Third, first assembly model. Imagine 50 years it took to really catapult into great thing. And fourth wave, aviation. Wow, fantastic. Fifth wave, internet. Internet is the, I would call it a game changer. Now we are talking about clean climate change, intensity, clean tech, and reshaping the business models. Now now I can also add here that the technologies are changing rapidly. Take an example of chat GPT or generative AI, Bard AI. So many chat GPTs getting updated every day, collecting so much huge amount of data, almost mimicking human brain, right? So idea I wanted to, point I wanted to drive out of this, we can't do it alone. We can't do it, certainly not in silos. Okay. And certainly I would not believe that some consultant, some expert coming out of somewhere, sitting in our factories, sitting in our process industry, sitting in our consulting backyards, can tell us what we need to do. What as an industry professional we can do is get updated ourselves, collaborate with these people, make your own decisions, and follow that. Now, this podcast is towards in that direction. This is that podcast where we will go in individual technologies, how they are making difference, their origins, and their use cases. Right. So that's the second question which I wanted to write. I wanted to underline. What are the areas this podcast is going to cover? So Industry 4.0 itself is a very big, very vast topic. Around more than 10, 12 technologies are there under this umbrella, right? But look at the applicability. Now, as per the definition, if you go, industry technology is more specifically tuned towards digital manufacturing or optimizing, automizing, bringing the various layers of factory design output in a more sustainable automation driven way, right? Uh, but I would, go one step beyond. Say that it starts with I would say it start with capital project handover, from where the information really starts generating, to the fantastic operation and maintenance level where everything is automized. We are sustainable, doing remote work, connected worker kind of scenario, right? So I would say there are two streams that would run in the under this podcast. One would be more a few episodes will be more directed towards how capital projects are designed, planned, built, and constructed, erected, commissioned. The other area would be where we would talk about smart factory, lighthouse factories, digital manufacturing processes, sensors 4.0, EPC 4.0, and its contribution to operation and maintenance. We would talk about RAMI 4.0. We would talk about 3D additive manufacturing. We will talk about automation. We will talk about robotics, drones. So that would be driven towards operation and maintenance part of the pillar. Okay, so that's my third question which I wanted to answer. So let me also go about my notes here a little bit. Okay, so great. So yeah. So this is briefly what I wanted to touch in this introduction podcast. Now the next podcast would be more towards technology, more towards their impact on various use cases. Couple of thoughts which are running in my mind are: one is going towards industry 4.0, introduction of industry 4.0. What is that various different terms which we talk about, like digitalization, digitization, digital transformation, and now this term called industry 4.0. By the way, there are other 4.0 terms also, something like EPC 4.0, something like process sensors 4.0. So huge 4.0s are coming, and before we even assimilate this, before we even get our heads around this, we already start hearing about 5.0s, like society 5.0, industry 5.0, or EPC 5.0s. So I'll be very honest with you. My intent would be to very focus very narrowly in two parts of technology implementation to EPC process, EPC and aligned industries such as process industries, uh, digital factories, digital manufacturing, fabrication, construction, these areas. Okay, so that would be my goal. And before I close this first podcast, what I would also take an opportunity here to thank everyone who took time to listen to this podcast. And also, I hope some of you or most of you are eager to go dig deep like I am, and uh, understand better, right? And I wanted to also invite students, uh, industry professionals, decision makers to come and reach out to me personally. We can have one-on-one conversation, which we can record and uh, give it to the world. Let them decide what is beneficial and what is need to be done a little bit more deeper. Okay. So fantastic. With that, I would like to sign off from this introduction podcast, and look forward to catch up with you again in my second podcast. And my podcast will be available in most of the leading social media platforms like Spotify, YouTube. I would also like to connect it on LinkedIn, because which is more where most of the professionals are there today. So uh, look out for my notifications, and uh, let's enjoy going deeper, understanding these technologies. Okay, thank you, thanks a lot. Bye bye, take care, until we see next time.